everybody. Yes, welcome back to a very special podcast. This is the podcast in which we talk about all of your favorite TV series from yesteryear and then discuss them over a glass of wine, a casual glass of wine, or 7, courtesy of Bruce the intern. And in case this is your first time at the rodeo, I'm your host with the most, Patrick M. Dunn, and I'm joined here tonight, as always, by Kat Halstead, the author, the life coach, the queen of books, and queen of Ninja Turtle t-shirts. Yes.
Saw what I was wearing tonight, eh?
She's fully dressed while I'm over here recorded in the nude. I have a robe on, though. I have a bathrobe on.
He's not like totally nude, people, I promise.
Yeah.
It's not like, dude, put some clothes on. It's more like Patrick.
Yeah, I'm not like spread out.
Why do you think you're Hefner?
Yeah, I have a cool sly robe on because I just got out of the shower, had a long day. It's been a long, long day, and I don't know, watching Murphy Brown and catching up on other TV shows. So yeah,
there's other TV shows to catch up on.
Yeah, I have a lot to catch up on.
Like what?
I don't know, like Netflix and stuff, like things I've been watching on Netflix, like Mad Men, old episodes of Mad Men.
I mean, to be fair, I totally did spend a good chunk of the day binge watching part of the show Life Unexpected.
I already lost you. Not even a minute in.
So
you're out. Girl is out.
Oh no. What happened? Did I freeze? I don't know what happened here. Oh my god, I've totally frozen. Hello? I'm recording, so I don't know what's happening. Pat could hear me. Maybe he can't. I don't know.
You back yet?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know what happened.
All right. I don't know. We're not even a minute in, and you're already dipping out. You're dipping it low. Nice and slow. All right. I kind of spoiled it, but what are we doing tonight?
Murphy Brown.
Yes. So this is a show that's premiering in a week or two-ish, I think. I don't
Something like that. Pretty soon.
Yes, it's coming up. And we decided, well, we were talking about trying to do it for a while, and it was just kind of on the back burner.
Yeah.
And, well, we decided with the reboot. Is it a reboot or just a continuation?
Yes. It's a continuation.
We have to...
It's a continuation, like Roseanne was a continuation, Will and Grace was a continuation, Girl Meets World was a continuation of Boy Meets World.
Okay, so there's reboots, remakes, and continuations. What's the skinny on these terms? How do we
Okay, so a remake and a reboot is basically where you take the idea of something and you redo it with the same basic bones but totally different cast.
So One Day at a Time on Netflix?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a remake. And a reboot is Magnum P.I.?
It's a remake and a reboot's kind of the same thing.
So a reboot is you start over, I guess? So Magnum P.I. is a reboot?
Yeah.
Okay, well, how about this?
Yeah.
So a remake is One Day at a Time because it's about different characters, but it's the same premise?
It's the same idea, but they're different characters. That's true.
Okay, but a reboot is Magnum P.I. without a mustache, living in modern-day Hawaii.
Yes, he has a goatee.
With a goatee. Oh, well, I guess that's the modern-day mustache. I think mustaches are still kind of a thing, aren't they? Aren't they kind of hot these days?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. And a continuation is just the same thing, the same story. Despite a gap in time, we're moving forward. We're going to find out what you've been up to.
Yeah, you're with the same characters you were with before. Yeah. You already know these characters. You know them. You love them. So it's oh, hey, we're just picking up 20 years later in Murphy's life.
Yeah, it's Mulder and Scully are back on the X-Files.
Yes.
I don't know. Veronica Mars is in a movie a few years ago.
She's getting an actual show, I thought.
Yeah, well, she was in a movie 3 years ago. They did the Veronica Mars made for iTunes movie.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about that. I never watched Veronica Mars, so I didn't get into that whole oh my god, there's a movie.
Oh well, fuck you for not getting into a VM. But we're gonna have to we'll have a Veronica Mars marathon on New Year's Eve. We'll just bust through them all.
I love that there's always these marathons I was apparently taking part of on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, it's a good time to stock up on episodes. You just want to catch up on something. You want to just blow through it. It's a nice winter night. You're home. Maybe drinking some wine or some whiskey. You just want to catch up on something. And I don't know, maybe you don't want to watch all the James Bond movies. You just want to watch something lighthearted. So you want to watch an old UPN show. And well, Veronica Mars is the place to go. She's our girl. She's solving mysteries, murders. She's in high school and cracking crime. Who else does that from a high school level?
Nancy Drew.
Does she solve murders, though, or is she just solving, like, petty crime? I feel like she's like a petty crime. She was like,
I don't know.
who stole the candlestick out of, like, Mrs. Devereaux's tool shed or something? I don't know.
So basically, Veronica Mars is like a high school version of Murder, She Wrote?
Yeah, she's actually solving, like, murder and, I don't know, drug busts and multiple murders. There's one episode where, like, a bus, like, rolls off a cliff. And multiple teens die, and she finds out it's foul play. So it's like it's a whole thing. So it's like mass murder in Neptune, California, this fictional town. Ooga, ooga.
Yeah,
that's all I have to say. You'll love it. If you love 48 Hours, and you love female-driven drama, then I don't know. Veronica Mars is up your alley. Kat Halstead, the author.
Okay. I'm gonna take your word for it right now.
All right, so I'll meet you on December 31st. In the days leading up to PaceyCon, we'll have VeroniCon.
VeroniCon and PaceyCon? Though that might be too much excitement, babes.
Too much? You can only handle one con at a time. The con is on. We only have enough time for one con.
I mean, you know how exciting PaceyCon is going to be.
All right. So, as we teased already, we are doing Murphy Brown tonight. What episode of Murph B are we doing?
Oh my god, I totally forgot what the episode was titled. I didn't write it down.
I got it. It's called All the Life That's Fit to Print.
Okay.
All right. So this is kind of like a mid-season of the show.
Okay, yeah.
We're halfway through. Avery was already born and thrust into the world. The whole Dan Quayle scandal struck America.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even. Is Diane English still on the show at this point? Is she still like the?
Yeah, she's still with the show.
Okay, Diane English, who's the creator, executive producer for like the first 4 or 5 years, but she's still here, I guess, according to Kat Halstead. And it's all right. So it's November 8th, 1993. Where are we in this world? Where are we, Kat Halstead? You always can pinpoint us.
Okay, November 8th, 1998.
1993.
Oh, 1993. I was like, that didn't make sense in my head. Okay, 1993, November. We are in the 6th grade.
Ooh, yeah. We're listening to the new Nirvana album, In Utero, maybe. Maybe we're rocking out to Heart-Shaped Box, or maybe Pearl Jam. Maybe Pearl Jam is your jam.
I was totally listening to MMC back then.
To who? Oh, MMC?
The Mickey Mouse Club.
I wasn't that lame. I might have listened to Sisters with Voices, SWV. Mm-hmm. Or maybe I liked the Michael Jackson song "Will You Be There" from the Free Willy soundtrack. I don't know if that was your jam. We already know that you hate whales. You hate killer whales.
Fuck Kill Willy or Willy. Fuck Free Willy. You know I hate that fucking whale. I root for the whale to kill the kid. I'm an evil human being, obviously.
So, what is your relationship with Murphy Brown? Did you grow up on the show? Did you find about this later on? Were you just in and out? This
was a show I watched every Monday night with my mom.
For real?
Pretty much its entire run.
Ooh. I was only in and out.
Yeah.
I didn't understand it. It was too old person-y for me. But I liked it in a way.
It was that. It was that show. This and Designing Women were they aired kind of back to back, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
I remember this is I'd have my bath on a Monday night, and then my mom would have to brush out my hair because I always had knots because my hair is an incredible curly tangled mess.
Well, maybe if you took a bath every night, maybe it would be a curly tangled mess.
No. It's my hair would just tangle, and then she would have to braid it to keep it.
Maybe you have to get you a stylist.
So, but she'd be brushing the knots out because my hair was just so bad and tangled.
Did you live in the woods?
No! I had long hair, and my hair is curly. You don't understand. You don't have my hair. It's that curly, wavy mess that there's a reason you almost never see my hair down unless I have flat ironed it.
All right. So it's November 8th, 1993. Shall we get into Murphy Brown fun facts first, or shall we get into the landscape that is November 8th? Shall we dip into that world?
Let's do the fun facts, and then let's figure out November 8th, 1993.
All right. So I got probably one of the hottest facts of Murphy Brown ever. You ready for it?
I'm as ready as I can be.
All right. Did you know that when series creator Diane English first pitched the show to the network, they were intrigued by the idea, but they wanted the title character to be younger, and guess who was available at the time? Take a wild guess.
Heather Locklear.
Yes! Heather Locklear was in the running to be considered for the title role, and Diane English went in and slapped the head of the network around, literally slapped the head of the network around. Was this Les Moonves or was this like pre-Les?
No, this is way before. This is before Les Moonves became the head of CBS.
Who was pre-Les? Do we know?
You know, I don't remember. I don't think Candace named him in her book.
Oh, like maybe he's
or whatever the name was. It wasn't memorable when I was reading it earlier today.
Diane. Her name's hard to say. Diane English. She went in.
Diane English. How is that so hard to say? What is wrong with you?
I think it's just Diane and English together. Like Diane and English. I just keep like mumbling it.
How drunk are you, man?
Like a few beers in.
That explains it.
No, but it's still like I couldn't say that sober. Like Diane English. I think Diane is a hard name. I keep on saying Diana. I think that's my problem.
Yeah, probably.
So I just fuck it up because I just want to say Diana, like Dirty Diana, Princess Diana.
Oh my God, you're the worst.
Diana, Wonder Woman's real name?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So there's a lot of Dianas, and I don't know many Dianes. There's only a few Dianes I know.
Okay.
And Diane English is one of them. Ooh, I just said it. Okay.
Yes, you did.
All right, so Diane English was pissed, and she wanted to go with someone more mature, and I guess, I don't know, she ran into Candace Bergen on the street one day and was like, hey, I think you'd be great on this show.
Actually, this is how that happened. This is how it happened. The script was going around Hollywood, and, like, all these people were trying to, like, fighting for the role, and, like, just, like, the right person wasn't getting it, and this one kid at the agency that Candace Bergen was at was like, this is the role for Candace Bergen. And he sent her the script, and she just had it, like, hanging around the house. She wasn't going to read it. It was just that he's like, no, you need to. He called her after, like, a week and a half. He's like, you need to read this script.
Is this like...
You need to read it.
Is this like Joan Crawford with, like, Whatever Happened to Baby Jane script is, like, on her fucking kitchen?
Like, you gotta read this. Like, you gotta read this. And so she's, like, on a flight, and she reads it, and she's like, okay, I gotta go in for it. So she goes in for, like, the first couple auditions and nails it. Like, she is Murphy through and through, and then she does the audition for the network and totally fucks up. Like, she totally failed the network audition. They were going to go with Heather Locklear, but Diane English was like, no, she is, like, she fought for it. She's like, Candace Bergen is Murphy Brown.
Oh, she wanted someone with, like, faults, maybe?
She wanted someone who was over 40. She wanted that age for the story. She wanted someone who embodied the imperfect Murphy that she saw, and that was Candace.
Yeah, she wanted to be able to flash back and, like, have, like, stories that take place in the early 80s that involve, like, Murphy at the Republican convention, and she's, I don't know, like, taking her top off or something. We get a little tease of that in the episode tonight.
I mean, I can't picture 1980s Heather Locklear pushing a nun.
I don't know.
I mean, I can picture her now pushing a nun, but, like, back in the day, no.
I can picture her dressed as a nun on like a naughty nun on Halloween pushing people.
Mm-hmm.
If that counts for anything. Or, like, maybe... All right, hold on. Hot scoop. It's 1980. Heather Locklear is at a Halloween party in Hollywood. She's there with Scott Baio, maybe. Maybe she's there with Baio.
Mm-hmm.
And Baio's, like, hitting on a naughty nun. It's like another Hollywood starlet dressed as a naughty nun. And maybe Heather Locklear pushes her.
Maybe, but... You know what I mean? Like, that's just... She had that kind of... Still had that sort of, like, wholesome-y image back then.
Heather Locklear?
Yeah, like, compared to, you know, she was like a sex pot, but it wasn't... This is pre-Amanda Woodward.
Girl was, like, doing lines of coke off Scott Baio's dick. What are you talking about? Like, she has, like, the perfect image.
Okay, fine, whatever.
You know she was. You know she was doing lines of coke off Scott Baio's long penis. Like, it's like 12-incher.
I mean, trust me, there are things I have read that is purportedly Heather Locklear, and... She's probably pretty twisted.
Okay, well, if you say so. We'll save that for our Melrose Place podcast when we get into, like, the Locklear lowdown. Yeah. It's coming. Not today, though. We don't have time. We have to go through Murphy Brown fun facts.
Yes, okay, so hit me with some more of your Murphy Brown fun facts.
All right, did you know that Dan Quayle sent Murphy's baby a stuffed elephant? And I don't know...
Are you serious?
This is confusing because Murphy Brown became a single mother during season 4. And then something that then Vice President Dan Quayle infamously took umbrage with. And after making a speech in which he said Brown was mocking the impotence of fathers by bearing a child alone and calling it just another lifestyle choice, Quayle was roundly mocked. He then later sent a stuffed elephant in the spirit of lightheartedness and joined in the fun. So I don't know if, like, Did he realize that Murphy Brown was like a fictional character? Like, I'm confused by this.
Dan Quayle did know, in fact, that Murphy Brown was a fictional character.
Okay.
He knew, because like in the actual speech that gets like brought up, where he does that, he referred to her as a character, but not enough that like it made a difference, like that they couldn't use the footage in the show to like actually tie it in. Does that make sense, what I'm saying?
Yeah, so he sent a stuffed elephant to Avery, who was played by Haley Joel Osment in 1992-ish. That's I don't know. So he basically just sent like a stuffed elephant to like the studio, and they were like, "Give this to the boy who plays Avery."
Give it to him on the show. Write it in.
Yeah. So this is hot scoop number 2 or 3. This is tied into the Dan Quayle. Candice Bergen later said she agreed with Dan Quayle. So in June 19th, 1998, Bergen responded to an op-ed written by Quayle's former speechwriter, Lisa Schifrin, who had suggested that she thought Quayle was a visionary the whole time. So, I don't know. Yeah, she's going back. She's going back on her words. So, I don't know. So Murphy and Candice are separate entities, maybe?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll get to it. In the coming weeks when we go into the new world of Murphy Brown. Who knows? Okay. You ready for the next fun fact? Fun fact number 4?
Sure.
So after her 5th Emmy, Candice Bergen declined additional nominations. She took home trophies in 89, 90, 92, 94, 95, and then feeling like that she had enough, she was like, no, I don't want any more. And then in 2017, our gal pal, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, broke the record when she won her 6th Emmy for playing Selena Meyer from Veep. I believe it's Veep, right? Is that the show she does?
Yeah, I think that's that show.
Which I've never seen. So, I don't know. Maybe you have to have...
Right now, I can hear my friend Gina yelling at me. God damn it, Kat. I told you to watch that show. Why aren't you watching it?
Maybe after we watch Veronica Mars on New Year's Eve, maybe we'll have a Veep hangover on January 1st. How about that?
Wait, how are we having a movie marathon on New Year's Eve? We're going to be on an amazing cruise on New Year's Eve.
No, you are going to be on Amazing Cruise. I'm going to be home watching Veronica Mars.
No, you're going with me.
No, I don't have any money. Like, think I'm rich?
You think I have money? I could dream a vacation for us, okay? We could just imagine.
All right, put it on your vision board.
Pulling it out.
Put it on your 4th quarter 2018 vision board and write it down. Fold it up on a piece of paper, put it on your mattress, and I don't know, maybe it'll come true. Maybe like you'll win a cruise or something. You have to like take a hot date, and I'll be your pick.
You're totally going with me on a cruise.
And I'll be a wingman, and I don't know.
Exactly.
Get you laid by, I don't know, someone with like a 12-inch penis. Scott Baio.
Oh my god.
Scott Baio's on the cruise, and you can do coke off his penis.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Just like Heather Locklear did.
What are you doing?
All right. The next fun fact is a game. You ready for a game?
Oh God, I'm never ready for a game.
All right. This is not like a sexy game. This is kind of like a numbers game. Can you take a wild guess of how many?
Oh God, I'm still not ready.
So Murphy Brown was known for firing secretaries left and right. And at the series end, take a wild guess how many secretaries she had during the series run.
240.
No, way lower.
Really?
I'll give you one more guess. Way lower.
Really? Wow. 135.
No, it was 93. And guess
90.
Guess who played her final secretary? Take a wild guess.
Bette Midler.
Yes, Bette Midler, gal pal.
Bette Midler.
Yes, played the final secretary. They were equals in the show business world, but in this fictional world of Murphy Brown, they were supervisor and subordinate. So what a wild world we live in. All right. And other famous celebrities that played assistants were Paul Rubens, Sally Field, Craig Bierko, and Michael Richards in a Seinfeld crossover. Mm-hmm. Believe it or not. Yeah.
Yes.
Seinfeld crossed over with Murphy Brown. All right. I got one more fun fact. And I think this one will be wild. Do you remember the final season? I believe it was the final season. Or like close to the end when Murphy Brown may have breast cancer. Do you remember that?
Wait, what?
The breast cancer subplot?
Oh, yes.
So the show had an impact on the number of women who got mammograms. So, ooga. So like 30, the number of American women who got mammograms increased by 30% the year that Murphy Brown got one.
Murphy got one?
Yeah, and...
That's like when everybody got library cards because of Fonzie.
Yeah. And then, so the final season, they wanted to be about menopause, but I don't know, for some reason, Diane English came back to the show for the final season, and she's like, no, we want to do something more memorable. And, according to this, Les Moonves was actually at CBS at this point, and he was like, let's do something more serious than menopause. Let's do breast cancer. So we got breast cancer, and we got an increase in mammograms, so shout out to her. Shout out to her.
Okay, then.
So that is all my Murphy Brown fun facts. Unless you have like any more to add. Do you have like any more late additions to this?
No, you hit like all the main ones. You got like the good ones.
Yeah, I got all the good ones. I know you were like just reading a Candy Bergen's book, so I don't know if you had any.
No, they used to like play pranks on each other on set, but I feel like most shows do that.
So now that we've gotten through the fun facts of Murphy Brown, we kind of like set the scene of like what her show was about. It was about secretaries being fired. It was about breast cancer in the final season, and almost Heather Locklear. So we created that world. But do you want to know about the more expanded world of going on in 1993?
Yes.
All right. Want to start off with ABC?
Yes, please.
Okay. We'll start off with ABC. All right. ABC, 8 p.m., Day 1. Do you know what Day 1 is? I think we talked about this recently.
What was it?
Day 1.
And I don't remember what it was exactly.
All right. This was a news magazine show produced by ABC News from 1993 to 1995, hosted by Forrest and Diane Sawyer. Ooga.
Okay.
Yeah, and one of its stories, titled Smokescreen, was an important report on the cigarette industry's manipulation of nicotine during the manufacturing process. This piece won a George Polk Award, but also led to a lawsuit from Philip Morris that ended with a settlement and an apology from ABC. So, ABC was taking the high road. Ooga.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, wild stuff. Wild stuff happened on ABC.
Yeah. And this is like before Disney owned them.
I was at home listening to the new Nirvana album, and meanwhile, like, Philip Morris was suing ABC.
Yeah, what else happened? What else was on?
All right, you ready for ABC 9 p.m. till, I don't know, the end of the night? Monday Night Football, our fave.
Oh, football got totally like freaked out because Murphy Brown was doing so well in the ratings.
Oh, really?
Then NFL was like, this show might beat us.
Yeah. Well, they didn't. Well, I don't know if they did or not. I just like saying that.
It didn't, but it got close. Like, it was like the one thing that was getting the closest to beating it at the time.
But do you know who did get beat this night?
Who?
The Green Bay Packers. They got smoked by the Kansas City Chiefs, 23-16. Ooga.
Wow.
Yes. You want to head over to the Tiffany Network, CBS?
Yeah, what was on CBS?
All right, 8 p.m. We're in that era where Evening Shade was our go-to show, I guess.
Yeah, it was a show. It existed.
Yeah, this is the most Burt Reynolds-y time in America. This was a sitcom that aired on CBS from 1990 to 1994. It starred Burt Reynolds as Wood Newton, an ex-pro football player for the Pittsburgh Steelers, who returns to rural Arkansas to coach a high school football team with a long losing streak. So it's kind of like the Mighty Ducks, I guess.
Maybe.
Yeah. This is like Mighty Ducks for old people.
Old people who were like the old people who were buying the National Enquirers to find out what was up with Bert and Lonnie.
Yeah. Lonnie was currently, I don't know, screwing around? Or was it Bert screwing around? I don't remember. It's been a while. I
don't remember. We gotta look this up one day.
Yeah, we'll have to do a special like scandal episode in which we just dip into a old National Enquirer and just get into it. Talk about
into these old scandals that we always like mention, and then we're like, I don't even know what really happened.
Yeah, talk about Scott Baio's 12-inch penis and like all the starlets that like did lines of coke off it.
Oh my God! Where did you know what? I don't want to know where you're coming up with this stuff. That's what scares me.
You heard it here first. Podcast exclusive. All right, you ready for CBS 8:30?
Okay, what was on at CBS 8:30?
All right, our friend of the show, Harry Anderson, Dave's World.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a great show. I enjoyed it. Yeah, I enjoyed it while it lasted. I didn't really watch it all that much, but I did watch it for like a year or two, and I loved it. It was great. Mm-hmm. You ready for CBS 9 o'clock? Do you have any guesses?
Designing Women.
No, Murphy Brown.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, Murphy Brown girl. Yes. All right. CBS 9:30, any guesses?
Designing Women?
No! Designing Women must have been, like, moved to another day, because tonight was Love and War, which was a show, actually...
Oh, that was the show with, Jay Thomas and, Susan Day, but then later it was Annie Potts.
Yes, and also created by Diane English, so this must have been, like, Diane English's, I don't know, she probably left Murphy Brown or was like in the process of leaving Murphy Brown and was like, I'm going to do another show and then we'll have Jay Thomas and Susan Day, but then Susan Day will leave and we'll bring in Andy Potts.
Oh God, you're doing voices.
Yeah, that's my Diane English voice.
Just an FYI, dear, Diane English is alive, so if she sues you,
She ain't gonna sue me. But if you do,
I'm on her side.
all right, well, maybe this will be a very special podcast starring...
Know that he has nothing, though.
All right, so maybe Diane English will become temporary Pat. Yeah, so I'll get sued, I'll become penniless, and I'll have to do a show with my own new show with January Jones, the less inferior show, and then you'll continue along AVSP with Diane English.
I think I win in the end.
You'll be talking about Susan Day, her days with Susan Day and Andy Potts. All right, you ready for CBS 10? Do you have any guesses? You have to know this.
I don't know. At this point, I honestly don't know.
Northern Exposure.
Oh, duh. I've watched that.
Yeah, the infamous Fish Out of Water series, which brought a hot physician to rural Alaska. Also starring Janine Turner. Shout out to her. I always forget about her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we miss her. Come back, Janine Turner. Be in movies or...
Yeah, she played Demi Moore's sister on General Hospital.
Yeah, a long time ago. But I'm talking about like now. Like we need like Janine Turner now. Like I want maybe they'll get her on like an Amazon show or something. Maybe she'll have like her own vehicle on Amazon.
Well, you know that she's a conservative in Hollywood, so she's not getting hired.
Oh, all right. Well, you know what? Maybe they could put her on Last Man Stand-In or something. They can bring her in as a new neighbor, the wacky new neighbor.
That would be an interesting take.
Yeah. So I don't know. Coming this fall, Last Man Standing on Fox, also with guest star Janine Turner as the wacky neighbor, as the new...
Patrick just making casting decisions for Hollywood here.
Janine Turner as the new Wilson.
All on his own.
Janine Turner as the new Wilson, Lady Wilson.
That's not how that show works, honey.
It should, though. It should.
That's just not that show. That's a different show entirely.
How about Janine Turner as a Wilson-esque type character?
Okay.
Because I feel like Tim Allen's a one-trick pony.
That's a discussion we'll have another day.
All right, we'll do that when we do Home Improvement. The next time we do Home Improvement.
Okay.
All right, shout out to Jill Taylor, who I used to hate, but now I love.
You finally understand the magic that is Jill Taylor.
Yes, finally. It just happened to me right in front of my face, and I just cannot describe it. All right, you ready for Fox?
Oh my gosh, what is happening?
You ready for Fox?
Yeah, it was on Fox. I'm guessing like Melrose Place.
No, it's a night at the movies. For some reason, Melrose Place is not on the air tonight. Maybe maybe they took like a brief night off. Maybe like something horrible happened.
Actually, you know what? It's what, 1993?
Yeah, Melrose Place should be on though.
Yeah, I don't think Melrose Place was on Mondays yet.
Oh, was this like when I was paired up with Nana Twin on like a Wednesday night or something?
Yeah, this is still like when Melrose Place was pretty boring.
Yeah, this was like Bourne era Melrose Place. Oh, this is probably like...
Yeah, this is like the boring era.
No, you know what? I feel like this is like season 2 though.
This is like right before you get to like the good stuff.
I feel like Kimberly Shaw was already brought in.
Yeah, but Kimberly was like the boring like doctor girl that like Michael hung out with at work.
Oh yeah, she was like his work wife.
This is before Kimberly became like Kimberly.
Crazy Kimberly. Before she went out for meds.
Yeah.
All right, well... Melrose Place is not on tonight. Instead, we're going to go to the movies, and we're going to watch Stop or My Mom Will Shoot, starring Sylvester Stallone and Estelle Getty. And I hated this movie when I was like 11. Like, I absolutely hated this movie. And I never hate movies.
Oh my... I remember wanting to see this movie so bad because I loved Estelle Getty. And my mom was like, no.
It was dumb. It was stupid.
No.
Like, for some reason, Fox decided that it was worthy enough to go up against Dave's World and Evening Shade. I don't know.
Let's be real. This is back when Fox still did not have all the programming it could.
That is true. They only had like The Simpsons and Martin at this time. No, they didn't even have Living
The Simpsons, Married with Children, those were like its hits, and Beverly Hills 90210.
Yeah, they just had like a few staples, but they were spread out. They're spread thin. They don't have the powerhouse that is NBC. You ready for NBC's powerhouse lineup?
Yeah, let's find out what was on NBC.
All right, this is probably what I was watching. An hour of Fresh Prince and Blossom back to back.
Okay.
That's probably what I was doing that night, not gonna lie.
The first hour of the evening? Probably, yeah.
And then you changed over to the TIFF and watched Murphy Brown. And then maybe Love and War.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I totally watched Love and War. I 100% watched that show. I don't remember why, but I did.
Who did you prefer, Susan Day or Annie Potts?
Honestly, I don't think I liked either of them.
You were just there for Jay Thomas?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. You ready to end the night?
Yeah, what was on at 9?
All right. So we're going to do a made-for-TV movie based on a true story. You ready for this?
Okay, I'm ready. I'm as ready as I can be.
All right, this is part 2 of Matter of Justice. So the first part was probably on like the night before, I'm guessing.
Yeah, probably.
Guess who starred in this? Take a wild guess. Just drop a name.
And Jillian.
No, Patty Duke and Martin Sheen.
Ooh, okay.
So this is the true story about the mother of a murder victim seeking to bring her son's widow to justice and gain custody of her granddaughter. A Matter of Justice is also known as Final Justice when it was later re-aired on the Lifetime Network. It's a fact-based movie based on the true story of Kathy Dusty Brown, which is a great name, and her husband, Chris Randall Brown. The true story movie, which stars Patty Duke, aired on NBC. Blah, blah, blah. It was a 2-part movie that was based on the 1982 murder of Chris Randall Brown, a Marine who was stationed in Hawaii. His murder went unsolved until police were able to trace the savage killing back to another Marine named Ralph Rocky Jackson.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, that's a lot that I just unleashed on you.
That was a lot of information at once, and a lot of names. Wild names.
I feel like that probably doesn't need to be a 2-part. I'm just going to throw that out there.
I mean, I can't, there had to be something crazy about that case that made it a 2-parter.
I feel like maybe just because they had Patty Duke and Martin Sheen in it, that they both wanted equal screen time, so they were just kind of like divas. Yeah, Patty Duke like, I want my own hour, and Martin Sheen wants his own hour, so we'll just have to turn this into a 2-parter.
Oh god, he's doing voices. I'm sorry to anybody who has to listen to this.
They enjoy it. They love it.
Oh my god.
Heather loved it. Tweet us, Heather, when you hear this voice, and just give us the thumbs up emoji.
Heather, don't encourage him.
Ryan, sign up for Twitter and give us the thumbs up emoji.
Oh my god.
And those random new people that
I'm gonna get random texts from somebody who's gonna be thumbs up emoji, and I'm gonna be like, what the F is this about? And they're gonna be like, Patrick said to send you one if I liked the voices.
Don't hate, girl. Don't hate. And shout out to our new Twitter followers. We have a few new people that like our tweets, so
okay.
I don't know. Stick around.
Hi, new Katie Pats.
I forget your names, but we love you until you call us problematic. Then we hate you. Then we'll block you. But we won't. We won't block anybody.
Yeah, we pretty much don't. You can call me a bitch and I won't block you.
Yeah, the only person I might block is Katherine Heigl, but I probably won't.
So, what episode of Murphy Brown are we doing, my dear?
I already said it. We're doing All the Life That's Fit to Print. And this is about someone decides they want to write a biography on Murphy Brown's life, and it becomes a hot topic around the office, around the FYI office.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, full disclosure, I don't know much about Murphy Brown. I've only dipped in here and there, so I don't know a lot of names, and I don't know a lot of the dynamics. So you're gonna have to take me through this world, Kat Halstead. You're gonna have to do voices, pretend to be characters.
You do not want to see my face right now, babe.
I do.
No, you really don't. So, we start off actually on the set of Sally Jesse Raphael.
Yes, one of our favorite talk shows of all time.
Yes.
Which, yeah, she needs to come back. Is she still alive?
Just goes to show how disturbing we are.
Yeah. Is she still alive?
Yes, she is.
Okay. What's she up to lately? Because I felt like she was 70 when she was on her talk show in 1992 or something.
Oh, dude, why are you always trying to kill people? My God.
All right, let's play a game. Let's play how old do we think Sally Jesse Raphael is right now? Say a number.
67.
67. I'm going to say she's 74.
Okay.
Do I have to do the work? Do I have to do the hot research?
Golly, I'll do it.
She's 83. she's 83. Yes, so she old. Girl old.
But she's hilarious on Twitter.
So 20-ish years ago, she was in her 60s. Okay, so, wow. All right, I wasn't ready for that. So that means we're old. That means we're almost as old as Sally Jesse Raphael.
Shut up.
You just celebrated your 57th birthday, yesterday or last month.
Shut up. You're such a freaking jackass. Why am I friends with you? Oh my god. Anyways, so it opens on Sally Jesse Raphael show, and this creepy, pompous, sketchy guy is being interviewed about a biography he wrote about Murphy. And he, makes all these presumptions about her, her sexuality, all kinds. And it was so weird because instead of, jumping to maybe Murphy is a lesbian, they've jumped to her being a transsexual. It was really awkward. It was really weird.
Yeah.
And then we find out it was just a, like, dream sequence.
Yeah, because Murphy...
Like, sort of. It was, like, Murphy's, like, worst-case scenario.
Yeah, Murphy knew that there was, like, talks of a book being written about her, and this was just, like, she had a nightmare that night of, like, the worst possible thing that could ever happen. And this is, like, the author turning on her, and then, like, going on Sally Jesse Raphael and, like, just, I don't know, spilling the tea, as the millennials say, as these young kids say today.
And, like, in her, like, dream, it's, like, not somebody, like, she ever even talked to. It's just somebody who did, like, a bunch of research and just made all these presumptions about her.
So, I have a question.
Okay.
So, I guess this is going to be, like, an authorized biography, and not, like, one of those, like...
Yes.
Unauthorized. Okay. All right. Which I guess makes sense. So, I don't know. Like why didn't she just kind of, like, get a ghostwriter and just, like, write, like, just say she wrote the book herself and just had this guy write the book?
Okay, so it wasn't her idea.
Okay.
Okay?
But
it wasn't something that Murphy or the network was like, oh, this is what we should do. Like a lot of journalists today do, where they're like, they all have written books, you know?
I don't know. Like, maybe we just live in a different time.
Like, half the people at, like, MSNBC and Fox News and CNN all have books.
I don't know. Like I guess we're in a different time. So, like, today, I feel...
Yeah, we're in a very different time. Like, back then you also didn't have, like, the internet or any of that stuff.
Oh, so...
You know, you didn't have that, like, ability to connect with your idol, Murphy Brown.
Murphy Brown's colorful past is kind of, like, hidden because now, like, it's 12 years in the future, and, like, the people that are watching TV now don't have access to, like, I guess, old issues of National Enquirer or something.
Murphy's, like, escapades were sort of known. They were definitely known in her journalistic circles. They were not as widely known, like, I think, to the public. Like, I know the public knows she went to Betty Ford and all that stuff, but...
All right, so, like,
I don't think they know, like, the rest.
All right, so I guess the whole premise of the show is, like, I guess that she was this well-respected journalist, and she goes off the wagon, and she gets, like, temporarily suspended from the show, and, like, gets replaced by, like, Corky? Is it Corky that replaces her?
Yeah, okay, so she goes to rehab, and while she's gone, they bring in Corky as, like, the female anchor for that period of time because the show wasn't going to go on hiatus or anything. And then they decide to keep Corky around for, like, the lighter, newsy, fluffy stuff.
Yeah, like, Corky was just, like a young, hot, like, newsreader. She just reads the teleprompter and just says what she's supposed to say.
Yeah, she is, like, a former Miss America.
Yeah, she doesn't have, like, a good opinion on anything. She just reads the news.
She actually, like, grows and learns more, but, you know, at the start, she's just kind of, like, the stereotypical pretty face that, like, a local affiliate would hire.
Just like your 10 p.m. news gal.
Yeah.
You're like your CW news anchor. CW Channel 11.
So, yeah. So, it was like that kind of thing.
Okay. And so...
And Murphy comes back, and when Murphy comes back from rehab, they also have, like, a new executive producer, who is this young guy, Miles Silverberg, who is, like, this total yuppie guy. Yeah, he is intelligent, but he has no clue how to deal with Murphy.
Yeah, isn't this, like one of his, like, first jobs?
So they're always like, Yeah, it's like it's his, like, first real job in TV, because before that he was working in public TV.
Yes, he came from, like the NPR version of, like, PBS, I guess. PBS, we'll say. Mm-hmm. He was on, like, Nova, maybe, we'll say. Oh, Ghostwriter, maybe. He was a production assistant on Ghostwriter.
Yeah, something, like, ridiculous like that.
Wishbone.
Okay, so you get, like, that, and then you also have, like, two, like, co-anchors who've been there, like, since the beginning at FYI. Jim and Frank. Jim is, like, the old school, straight-laced news anchor guy. And,
yeah, he's got, like, Walter Cronkite vibes, kind of, in a way.
Yeah.
Dan Rather.
And then Frank is the investigative reporter who is, like, Murphy's best friend, sometimes her rival a bit, and he's totally neurotic, but he does, like, the craziest stories.
Yeah, they have, like, healthy competition with each other.
Yeah.
Like, very, like, they learn from each other, but they also like to compete with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an interesting dynamic. I love it.
Yeah.
But now, so where we pick up, like, we're on, like, mid-show run. We're, like, season 5-ish. And the characters are now evolved.
Murphy has had Avery.
Yeah, Murphy had a baby. She has like a painter that she keeps at her house, Eldon.
Yeah, the painter / nanny.
Yeah. Corky has like evolved into a more sophisticated woman. She's learned a lot from her mentor, Murphy Brown.
Yeah. So
And Murphy's had in and outs with the vice president of America.
Mm-hmm.
So it's wild times. It's wild times in the world.
So this guy wants to do a biography on her, and Murphy's like really not into the idea.
And can we talk about who plays him?
You reveal it because you're so excited about this.
It's Willie Tanner from Alf. The creepiest man in the world. Willie Tanner from Alf. Let's be real. Scariest dude alive.
Murphy agrees to like meet with the guy just to like get that part over with and be so that she can turn him down, whatever. But it like turns out he like knows almost nothing about her, and he's just like, but he kind of gets her.
Yeah, he's like been hired by like the book company. They just like picked him. They plucked him out of a crowd of millions of people. The publisher plucked him.
No, this is what it is. He is
Sorry, girl.
He is like he's a really well-known biography writer, and he's done critically acclaimed biographies. And his publisher wants a biography on Murphy Brown. That's why he's pursuing this.
But he's kind of like ignorant to her. He doesn't know much about her. He knows the name.
Yeah, he doesn't, because all of his subjects, she's the first subject of his that isn't dead. All of his subjects are people who have passed away.
Yeah, like he wrote about like presidents and former historians, historic figures. And now he gets to like sit down face to face with a subject. He's excited about it because like, I don't know, he has like all these questions to ask, but he basically just has like common knowledge about her. Like maybe he like went to the library and read some articles about her on microfiche.
Mm-hmm.
Or like the early internet. It's 1993, so that might be like an early version of the internet.
He like knows just like enough to like get a meeting, and he kind of gets her. And Murphy just actually decides to go ahead with it.
It might not be the horror story that might happen when I wake up one morning and I see this guy on Sally Jesse Raphael. Like this might actually be good for me. Like maybe I'll get, I don't know, more sponsors. Maybe I'll like get expanded to like a new network. Maybe they'll like syndicate me on radio. Who knows? Like who knows what'll happen?
So she just, and then she finds that she kind of likes talking about like her past, and she's telling this guy like everything under the sun, like every story from childhood she can think of.
And he's kind of like, he's already getting bored. He's like, we're not even into puberty yet. And like, you're already been talking to me for 4 days. Like, I don't know how much I can handle. He has like one of those little tape recorders and he's just like, he has to keep buying. He has to go to Radio Shack and get more tape cassettes.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like Murphy has to leave for a little bit. So she's like, oh, maybe why don't you talk to like my coworkers for a little bit just to get like another vantage point of my life.
Perspective.
And I guess...
And get some stories from their perspective. And they, they're like, okay, cool. And they start telling stuff. But then they realize they can't, if they tell, like, what they want to tell, these great Murphy stories, Murphy's going to kill them.
Yeah, they really, like, they're trying to say nice things about Murphy, but they really can't. And they keep bringing up, like, incidents that happened, like, way in her wild past. Her pushing a nun.
Yeah. Or just like ridiculous stuff she does now.
And like her at the Republican National Convention in 1980, which
yes.
They don't come out and say what happened, but I don't know, she might have taken her top off maybe, or she was drunk, like super drunk.
She did something crazy, that's all I know.
Something that
she probably just pushed a nun.
Which is wild times, which is a wild thing to do. Oh.
Because, that's what a wild and crazy girl would do.
Yeah, so now, she, like, comes back to, like, meet with the biographer, and she, like, starts to realize, like, oh, my God, like, now, like, these are just my peers. These are people that, like, know and respect me.
These are the people that like me, and they're afraid to, like, give any story. She's like, oh, crap. What about the people who don't like me? Because let's be real, Murphy kind of has some enemies.
Yeah, she's a button pusher.
Because Murphy is competitive, and she tries to get the story no matter what.
Yes, and we get this great 6-minute scene of actual figureheads in politics, journalism, and the like, just spewing their opinion on Murphy Brown. So we see like Orrin Hatch, we see Leslie Stahl, Bob Dole. Who else is in there? Yeah,
Bob Dole, Linda Ellerby, all kinds of like greats.
Yeah, there's a lot of faces, and they all like they all kind of say the same thing. They start talking about, like, oh, the time that she pushed a nun. They talk about the RNC.
Yeah, several people bring up the nun. Several people, like, Bob Dole is really upset that she ate his and his wife's sherbet at a White House Correspondents' Dinner one year.
Oh, yeah. You know, she's...
Like, he's really pressed about that sherbet.
Do you think this is more shocking than... Who's that girl that did the White House Correspondent Dinner this year? The one that had, like, the Netflix show for, like, 10 minutes? Michelle Wolf?
Yeah, I think that was her name.
Do you think it was more shocking than Michelle Wolf at the White House Correspondents' Dinner?
No.
I don't know. I like to think it was. But you know what? This is a simpler time, so maybe, like, Eaton...
Yeah, it was a simpler time. They could not have imagined what world we were living in now.
Maybe she said a colorful joke about, like, Ronald Reagan that, I don't know, pushed a lot of buttons and everyone got mad. Everyone got mad at her. She was temporarily suspended from... What was her channel's name? It wasn't CNN. It was like a...
Murphy worked for CBS.
Oh, she actually worked for CBS? I thought it was like a fake cable.
Yeah, it was CBS. It was a fictional news magazine, FYI, at CBS.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. As I said, it's been a while. It's been a hot minute.
Yeah, it's been a while, and somebody didn't even bother to read Wikipedia today. Golly.
I did, but I can't keep track of all this stuff. I had fun facts in my head, Kat Hall said the author. I had fun facts in my head. I think I brought a lot to the table tonight.
Fine.
I don't know what you brought to the table, but I brought a lot to the table.
Gosh.
And I even brought, like, what was on that night.
Okay.
Instead, you're just here yelling at me.
So we get this great montage of these actual news figures. And that was one thing I really loved about Murphy Brown, is they would actually get actual news personalities of the day on as guest stars. You had Connie Chung, Katie Couric. Like, when Murphy has her baby shower, like, every female news personality from NBC, ABC, and CBS, maybe even CNN were there.
Do you know what's kind of sad, though? Is they mentioned that she did something to Aretha Franklin at the RNC. And I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
What did she do to Aretha Franklin?
No, I don't think she did anything to Aretha Franklin at the RNC.
I think she upset Aretha Franklin, though. Like, deeply upset her.
No. What happened was she got Aretha's number from another news anchor, and she called because she's such a big fan. Like, Murphy probably was basically borderline stalkerish when it came to Aretha.
And I guess she loves, like, Motown, because every episode of the show begins with, like, a different Motown song.
Yes, that's very true.
Yeah, so I don't know. But, I don't know, like, maybe she did upset Aretha Franklin when she just, like, randomly called her one night.
Yeah, exactly.
At 3 a.m. It's 3 a.m. New York time.
And that's why Aretha got mad at the news anchor.
3 a.m. New York time, 1982 probably. Murphy's probably loaded up some Jack Daniels or something. She had Aretha Franklin's phone number. Just called her up in the middle of the night. It's probably like midnight Pacific time. I'm guessing she lived in the Pacific. Maybe she was over there for something. And I don't know, just had like a weird conversation with Aretha, and Aretha got very disturbed and just like, you know what?
Aretha's like, how did you get this number? Aretha Franklin probably changed her number the next day.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then she wore a fun hat while she was going down to the phone company.
Yes.
So shout out to her fun hats.
We miss you, Aretha.
Yeah, come back, Aretha.
Oh my God.
RESPECT. Aretha Franklin probably sang RS Respect to Murphy Brown on the phone. Let's be real. Like, you got a RESPECT my privacy, girl.
Yes, probably.
So we come back from this montage scene.
Murphy, like, wakes up from, like, just an awful sleep of just thinking the worst things people could say about her. And she's talking to Avery. And apparently this is at a point where Avery hasn't said his first word yet, but he's getting close. And Murphy's, like, convinced that Avery is just a chatterbox around Eldon.
You think he is? Conspiracy Corner?
Conspiracy Corner. That's the thing. Like, when you have kids and they don't talk, but you're like, do you really talk to somebody else? Come on. Is it just me?
You know what? Do you want to know the real scoop on Avery?
What?
He talked to dead people.
Oh my God.
Because it was Haley Joel Osment. Oh!
Oh my God. I knew you were going to go there.
All right, hold on. Do you think that Murphy had to temporarily give up Avery to Toni Collette? For a little while?
Jeez. Oh my God.
And Murphy Brown and The Sixth Sense takes place in the same universe? Is that possible?
No, stop the fan fiction. Stop it.
And then...
You're cut off.
I'm cut off. All right. Well, stay tuned for my wrap-up show in which I talk about Sixth Sense and Murphy Brown taking place in the same universe. The after show. The Jess Pat after show. A very special Patcast.
Oh my god, if you could see me right now.
You know what? I feel bad for Murphy though, like, because she wakes up in the middle of the night a lot and is like super stressed. Like super, like I feel like this happened twice in this episode. I'm sure this happens in other eps.
No, she didn't wake up in the first scene. She was like telling the guys what her like worst case scenario would be.
But she's stressed out a lot though. Like I feel like this is.
Yeah, she is stressed out a lot. Murphy then starts in the middle of the night calling up like famous news people. It is like, hey, so there might be this guy calling you doing a book about me. If you could just not mention the 1980 Republican convention, this like video tape I have of you singing I Enjoy Being a Girl on the press bus won't like
resurface,
ever see the light of day.
She's got the blackmail material because she's been around a while.
Yeah, she's got.
I'm sure.
Which makes me wonder, like, what kind of amazing stuff would Murphy have today?
I'm sure, like, spending some time in the Betty Ford clinic, she probably ran into a lot of celebs and journalists and stuff. So she's probably got the juice. But yeah, today, like, who knows? Like, her Twitter account today would be like hot fire. It would be Spitfire, like daily Spitfire. Like, what is Murphy tweeting today?
I don't know. She's probably like
I would love
raging against her son Avery like half the time.
All right, so we learned this today. I guess you told me.
Yeah.
So on the new Murphy Brown, the new series.
Yes, on the new Murphy Brown series, Avery is going to be a conservative cable news host.
Ooh, I kind of like that. That rivalry.
And like it's like the more I thought about it, the more it kind of makes sense. It's kind of the way I wanted it to go.
Yeah.
You know, you grow up with Murphy as your mom, and she's Murphy. But you also have to remember that his father is like this liberal radical guy who like lived underground because he was always like protesting something and always in danger of being arrested.
And it's like your mom went topless.
Like his dad was like a weather underground type guy.
It's like your mom went topless at the RNC and like stalked Aretha Franklin for years. Like you gotta like disassociate yourself. Like you want to get into a good college.
Yeah.
Who knows what this biography said about her? Like maybe this biography was a miss. He like Avery's like, you know what? I don't believe in her values. Like I am my own being. I am no longer Haley Joel Osment. I am a new person. I'm a new human.
Jake Dorman.
Who is it?
Best known for his role on Greek.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Apparently you know like all about this guy, but I don't know him at all. So shout out to him. Shout out to him for like...
He was on Greek. He was on...
Getting the role of the lifetime.
The one show on CBS that was based on that Bradley Cooper movie. Limitless or something. What was that Bradley Cooper movie that got a TV show?
Silver Linings Playbook or something?
No, oh my god. Never mind then.
The Hangover?
Never mind. You are just too drunk right now to
I don't think I know that many like Bradley Cooper movies though. Like let's be real. Like I've only seen like two. I see Silver Linings Playbook and The Hangover. And Guardians of the Galaxy, which he does a voice, but like that's it.
Anyways. So, yes, we're getting a new...
No, what? Why? Don't... Oh, my God. I
think the show was called Limitless, and, yeah, he was the lead on that. It was one season on CBS.
Is that on CBS All Access?
Yes. So the new season of Murphy Brown starts on the 27th, I believe.
Okay, of September.
The
Lord's year.
Just double-checking my calendar.
The Lord's year 2018.
Yes, it's the 27th. The year 2018, the year of our Lord. So, yes, it should be interesting to see what happens, how they get the old gang back together for the new morning show that they're going to be producing. They have, like, almost the entire original cast back together that they could.
Except for the people who passed away.
Yeah, except for the few that have passed away.
But, Faith Ford is back. Corky's coming back. Can't wait to see Corky again.
Yeah, she's back. They even got Charles Kimball to come back for like a short story arc for Jim Dial.
Yeah, so I don't know. Who knows? Who knows how many secretaries we'll get in these 13 episodes?
Yes, I can't wait to see if she's still going through secretaries like crazy or what.
Maybe Bette Midler will still be on it. Maybe. Maybe not. Who knows? We'll find out. Maybe Paul Rubens?
Maybe.
Sally Field? We'll find out. Or maybe even some modern day stars.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure they can get, like, lots of people to just be, like, a secretary on Murphy Brown.
Yeah, Haley Joel Osment. Who knows?
Oh, that poor kid.
Chubby Haley Joel.
I always would be like, wait, that's Haley Joel Osment when I saw him on whatever that show was. Oh, it was that show with John Goodman on Amazon.
Oh yeah, he was just on
wasn't it? Yeah.
He was just on this last season of the X-Files too. He was in an ep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he gets around. He's still around. So shout out to him. Call us if Kat Halstead is looking for a new podcast host after tonight's debacle. Maybe Haley Joel's available. Maybe he'll come in and tell some hot stories about being a toddler on the set of Murphy Brown. Maybe he has some early memories. Maybe he remembers waking up early one day and getting his diaper changed.
Oh my god, dude, you're cut off.
Or nursing on the sets.
Oh my god, you need to stop.
Or maybe just hanging out with Bruce Willis when he was 4 or 5.
Oh my god.
Why? This is a fun. Kat, I sat through you the General Hospital episode where you name drop the entire ABC daytime executives. This is nothing. I'm only talking about Scott Baio. No one's gonna get mad at Scott Baio's penis. Nobody.
Why are you obsessed with Scott Baio's penis?
I don't know. It's the current storyline.
We don't have storylines. We're normal human beings.
No, we have storylines. We have our Hawaiian Mansion storyline.
Oh God. We're never going to get that Hawaiian Mansion.
That's on you, girl.
Not if you're going to think like that, Kat. Gosh.
No, I'll never be a teen model. Shall we close the book on Murphy Brown? Or do you have any other hot Murphy Brown scoops?
Okay, so I feel like we need to be done before one of us gets really mad at the other.
No, before you get mad at me, not before I get mad at you.
So, where can you follow us?
Before we get there, we have to talk about what we're going to do next week.
Oh, what are we doing next week?
Well, I think this might be very topical, I think. It's a movie, a very famous movie starring Heath Ledger and Julia Stiles is in it, right? Is Julia Stiles in it?
Yes.
Yeah, and the girl from Alex Mack, The Secret World of Alex Mack. I forget her name.
Yes. And Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, this is something that you should probably say to me right now. So say the title of the movie.
10 Things I Hate About You.
Yes, and now can you name 10 things you hate about me that I just said in this podcast?
You realize that turns into a love poem.
Oh, does it? Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, you're gonna be making a poem this weekend while we prepare for this. So get ready, world. Get ready.
It's gonna be wild.
Yeah, it's gonna be wild. Where can you follow us, Kat Halstead, the author, Queen of Books?
You can follow us on Twitter at Very Podcast. You can follow us on Tumblr at A Very Special Podcast, as well as Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. A Very Special Podcast. Do not accept imitations.
Yes.
Because I know those assholes are still out there.
And as always,
bye!
Watch the news.
What? I don't know what just happened.